This is an opinion-based podcast for adult ears only. Nothing should be construed as fact because, let's face it, we are not professionals.
It's your favorite girls, Ange and Meg, with Oh My God, Have You Heard? Where we share our opinions and gossip about current events and untouched topics, even though nobody asked. Thank you guys for returning with us for another week. We're so happy, especially for those of you who have listened. Then that means you're willing to waste more time on us.
There's no wasting
We
time.
appreciate it. We appreciate it.
We appreciate your
Loyalty.
loyalty, yes.
We also
and
appreciate
your ears.
all the people who've reached out and said that we've made you laugh, that you've enjoyed it, and again, that you're returning for another week because this one's going to be fun. We're doing kind of a throwback. So Angela and I, born in the 80s, raised in the 90s, 2000. So we decided we're going to do kind of a throwback episode of
want
all
everyone to feel
nostalgic for there we go. She was really wanting me to get that word in, and I was like, will you just let me get to it?
I'm sorry.
She was like, no, you haven't said it yet. Yeah, I'm gonna. God. We're wanting you all to feel nostalgic, so we're taking you back to your childhood, our childhood, whether or not you guys were there with us. Or...
I was actually gonna just say I wanted you to feel the way that I feel. Like. Sorry.
I feel like that's a song. Okay. So, like I said, we were born in the 80s, raised in the 90s, a little bit of 2000s. You know, by the time we were in the 2000s, though, I feel like we were just so much, like,
different,
more independent and, like, less influenced by, like, I don't need that Polly Pocket. Like, oh, my gosh, Mom, look at that. I want that.
Yes.
We were kind of doing our own thing. So, but definitely shaped who we were, especially late 90s, early 2000s.
So 85, though, let's go into, that's when we were born.
Yes.
That's when the Nintendo came out.
Correct. I did know that. I did not know we were supposed to present a 1985 facts, so I'm going to let Angela take over because I was not aware. Apparently she is, and no, but I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah,
that's where this all
that's
starts.
Not what I was trying to go for, but all I'm saying is...
Okay, so you just have the one fact?
No, well, maybe, but you know me. Anyways, yeah, so Nintendo came out then in 85. My family was lucky enough that my parents did get us one eventually. We even had an Atari, even though that was pre-80s, that my mom, I'm pretty sure, gave away at a garage sale. Who knows what she gave it away for. But also just like...
You're talking the original Nintendo?
Yeah, I still have it. It's in the closet right here.
My parents had one in the basement for a long time. I hope they still have it. So we had one of those, but I was thinking, like, the NES did not come out. The Super Nintendo did not come out in 85.
No, that was 90s.
Okay, I was
Yoshi,
like, don't.
We never had that, but.
Oh, yeah. I got that in second grade.
But in the 80s, what about, like, did you ever have a Teddy Ruxpin?
Yes, okay, so.
And,
oh, God, that thing always freaked me out, but I did like it.
Wasn't it like, come sleep with me tonight?
I love you. Oh, no, that was Barney. Oh, I forgot about Barney.
Oh,
yeah, no. That was one of the freakier toys I had.
It was, and its mouth moved. We have it,
and
and
its
the mouth
eyes would
fell
blink.
Off.
Oh, that's terrifying.
I think one of our dogs ate it off at one point. But it was such a big thing. And it hurt if you got through it with your other stuffed animals because there's a whole machine.
Yeah, because you put a tape. Yeah,
deck in there.
Its mouth fell off. That's terrifying.
And it was yeah, and it was a whole thing. But isn't it weird how in the 80s everyone had the same toys?
Yeah, because we were all like, Mom, look at that on TV.
But I also feel like it's so different. Okay, I bet you $100 you grew up with this picture, even though it was probably part of the 70s, but there was either a brown one, an orange one, a mustard yellow, or an olive green one. And they had the push button. It was Tupperware brand, maybe. Yes, my mom had a brown one. I think my grandma had an orange one. Somebody had. That's how I know all the colors because each one of my family members had one.
Oh yeah, and then I think my mom started selling Tupperware at some point, and then we had kitchen magnets that were no.
Oh my God, I love that.
It's really cute. The lids came off and everything.
I love
They
that.
were mini.
But I mean, I think of like that with like the 80s, like
Or like the
we
Pyrex.
all had the same toys. Like now I don't know if it's the same, maybe because I don't.
No, like they are. Like with my nieces, like the LOL dolls, if any of you guys are parents, especially to little girls, like, oh my gosh, the LOL frickin' dolls, which are expensive and they do nothing. But hey, whoever's making toys is like smart as hell, because I'm like, okay, I love you and I want to spoil you and I need you to take care of me when I'm old and then put me in a good nursing home. So I will spend the stupid amount of money on these stupid LOL dolls for Christmas and birthdays.
That's funny.
I was always like, I think the Cabbage Patch Kids came long before the 80s, but I definitely had
a couple of those.
And I always liked the way they smelled.
Like plastic.
Their face always had kind of a certain smell.
Sure.
And I'm not the only weird
person that thought that.
If somebody else thinks that they had a distinct smell, please message me if we're friends and let me know. Go on Instagram or our Facebook and let us know, because I'm not a weirdo. Maybe I am.
Maybe. My Cabbage Patch doll was a long-haired one, but like when you took out her ponytail with a braid, it actually was like bald and it just had like the hair around.
Oh no!
It had the hair around the hairline.
Deception at such a young age, and it was like.
But I did learn how to braid on that doll.
Like it was like yarn for their hair. Yeah.
Also, Fisher Price stuff. Like, did you ever have the zoo or the little house? And it was like
the barn.
Well, there was that too, but it was, I don't even know. I didn't have the barn. But
I did. When you open the doors, it would go.
No, ours was like, it was like a house with like the brown and the white and like.
I never had the house.
Okay, we did. And then we had a zoo too. And this is really funny. So when I was in kindergarten, the zoo was our favorite. And it was like very Fisher Price. Like,
I feel like I know this. Okay, keep going.
It was our favorite, but even though it was like very babyish type toys, but like
Weebles Wobbles, but they don't fall down. But I still played with them. Yeah,
like the gorilla didn't move or have any moving parts. It was just like this orange like gorilla, and my brother for whatever reason loved it. And I'm in kindergarten, and granted, some of you might know I was very, very young to be in kindergarten before.
Your 4-year-old mentality.
I had the 4-year-old mentality before preschool, and 4K was a thing, so they probably made all that because of me. I'm just joking. So anyways, you know what Toys for Tots is, where they give the kids, toys for holidays. And my teacher, I swear she told me you have to bring in a toy, otherwise you're not going to be in kindergarten anymore. That was my perception of what she said.
We're still not sure what she said, but that was Angela's perception that led to said events.
She was really mean to us, too. My kindergarten teacher was so mean. And so I think she was just done with the kids. But anyway, so I dig through all the toys in my closet, and little did I know you had to have like a wrapped brand new toy. I donated the little orange gorilla of my brother's favorite toy, because I thought,
this is why you guys get along so well.
Well, I didn't tell him. I told him like years later, and he was like, I knew it, because he was like, he would always like carry it around, because he was young. And like, he's like, where did the orange gorilla go? But I thought if we loved it that much, that another kid would love it that much. Oh, that's
sweet.
And so I just threw it in the box. And then
my mom probably were like, what the hell's this? And threw it away. It's not wrapped. It's not even a whole set. Our pets' heads are falling off.
But we loved it, so I thought some other kid would.
Because you had 4-year-old mentality.
Now I'm like, it's not a set. Don't touch it. Like,
Speaking of Fisher Price, do you remember those roller skates? They were like orange, yellow, and blue, and you wore them with your shoes on.
I think they were like, I had a hot pink and yellow one.
Oh, I just had like the boy ones.
I have a picture. I should go find it, but like, I have a picture of it was my birthday, and I got a scooter with training wheels too, and they were like foam. They were like foam tires. But my brother tried on my roller skates with his shoes on. And I was like, why don't you just go? And I pushed him. And there's like a picture of him like, trying not to fall over.
Yeah, mine, I'm like, it had a big orange stopper. It was yellow with an orange strap, I think. And the bottoms were blue. And you could like adjust them to fit, because you just put your shoe in it. God. And like those stupid wheels, they were plastic. So like if you were in the driveway, you hit a rock, you were done. You were done.
Oh, yeah. But then like rollerblading came out. out. It was a
Yeah,
little bit-
yeah.
I was never a big roller
I'm
skater.
a real clumsy person. I fall going up the stairs. My mom calls me Grace
I was
because I
just
have
gonna
none.
say.
So like me on wheels, skates didn't ever didn't work very very well. I always liked the light bright.
Oh yeah, I had one of those.
I feel like everybody had one of those, but then somebody swallowed one of the lights and a pet ate it. You
Yeah.
only had so many
for
like
certain things.
yeah, you could only use like the
I forgot about that. Yeah. Do you remember Fraggle Rock?
yeah. Well, okay, so now that's in okay, so now today I have a little bit of an outline just because there was so much content and that's under my TV movies.
Oh, sorry.
Did you have Fraggle Rock toys?
I did. You get them from
Oh.
McDonald's.
Oh, yes,
like
yes,
the
yes.
Bernstein Bears and like the
I had the raisins.
what else was it? The Muppet Babies, the raisins. I had the raisins too.
The McDonald's toys.
Yeah, but I was big into Care Bears back then.
See,
and, like,
I wasn't.
I had a Care Bear. I still have the Care Bears. Actually, the cats at my mom's house has my
The
Care Bear.
sheet?
No, it's a sleeping bag. I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
I was like, Mom, why did you give the cats my Care Bear sleeping bag? And she was like, and
You're 25 years old, Angela.
Yeah. She was like, I didn't know you wanted it. And I'm like, well, I don't, but I guess I'm just being ridiculous.
I had
but
California raisin sheets,
Did
and
you
then
have-
I had the sweet New Kids on the
I was
Block
just gonna
sleeping
say.
bag. Hell yes! And I was so oh man, I loved that. God, did I love New Kids on the Blocks? I had the on the blocks. I'm on the block. I was obsessed.
Well,
God, and I was
well,
in like first grade.
I was going to say, when did they come out? Was it late 80s, early 90s?
yeah, because I was in first grade.
okay.
So not well,
91-ish.
Yeah, but they were kind of a hit before then. I
Sure.
think I was maybe a little late to the game because it's not like I had like a
Well,
boom box.
so we
when
had
I
a
was
boombox.
6.
We had a boombox that we had like in our garage. And like, you know, back in the day, you played
Doesn't
outside.
your dad still have it out?
Oh, that's not the one, but yes,
Yeah.
he has one for, it's like silver and
Yeah.
huge. Like,
Yeah.
what's that movie when the guy, John Cusack,
Say Anything.
yeah,
when he's
when he-
standing outside.
with the
yeah.
boombox, like that's 100%. I should take
So I was like, man, I think maybe. Are you sure it's not from
Well,
when you were?
Well, it's from when I was little, but my parents were divorced, so this was at my
gotcha.
mom's house one time, and we had a boombox going, and I think Kids on the Block came on or something, because Joey was like, that's my brother, he was like, do you like the New Kids on the Block? And I go,
I can only imagine where you were going with this.
and I go, we have New Kids on our block? Like, where do they live? I want to go play with them. He goes, no, the music. And I'm like, I don't know who they are. Like,
We're 5, we're
yeah,
6.
yeah. And then there was the song too, like Informer. Ba da 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 da.
I like you boomed him down. Oh yeah. Gosh. You know, I also like for toys, I would say like the bigger ones, you know, into the 90s would be like the Beanie Babies.
Oh yeah.
Remember when you'd go to like McDonald's?
Oh yeah.
And you'd get like the mini ones, and everybody was thinking like, these are going to be
yeah.
worth so much money one day. Don't touch them. I was
have a-
like, but I want to touch them.
I
And
have
they're
a
like,
Princess
don't
Di
touch
one
it. Yeah.
in there too, and I'm like, it's probably worth like $25.
Yeah, and people were like, we're going to put you through people were telling their children, we're going to put you through college with
Yeah.
these. Don't touch them.
Well, there are some, like there's Tabasco, the red
Bull.
bull. It if you can have it with like the red paws, because most of them have white paws. If you have the one with the red paws, that was the first edition one. That is worth a lot more. But
Interesting.
I don't know. So there's
remember when my dad
remake ones.
Yeah, and I
that-
remember when my stepdad was like, okay, I'm done. We're throwing these away. And I was like, ooh, but really, should we? And you know me, I'm not a hoarder.
And
so
you're
I was
like, maybe can you just keep them at your house? That's my stepdad's always like, so when do you want to come and clean out storage here? And I was like, I already have a storage at my house. He's like, well, then you should figure out what you want to do with the stuff at the shop. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it this summer. And I told
How
him
many
I would.
summers? Oh, you're
I
doing
told
it this summer?
We'll
Okay.
see. I've already gone through it a few times, but now I have my bubble lamp. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I might bring it to the studio. I'm like, dude, that's gonna see it paid off to keep it.
We haven't seen it in 15 years, but it's going to pay off.
It's gonna be awesome. I hope the
Trolls was
motor-
a little back, like in
Early.
80s.
Yeah,
and
same with
90s.
like I would say 90s, because also like we definitely had the Trolls, but then remember the gummy bear? That's like with the TV stuff, but like
the Gummy Bears.
like that was a TV show.
Oh, I did not know
Oh
that.
yeah, but
Oh,
I also,
yeah, she
did
says,
you ever
"Oh, yeah."
play with She-Ra and He-Man? Like,
No.
Oh my god, my brother and I. Had
I believe
the
you guys
whole
did.
castle, and he had all the toys. Like I look at like family videos, and I'm like, oh my god, we were freaking spoiled.
And those would probably be worth some money now.
They're-
Not the Beanie Baby, but
Yeah.
I was like, oh, she put her foot on a tote, and I was like, oh my God, are they in there right now?
Right here, girl. No, those are just the koozies. Yes.
90s, I would say, like, well, maybe this was late 90s, but I totally had one and I loved it. The Tamagotchi.
Oh, me
and
too.
And I got the kids each, well, the two big kids.
Yeah.
A 10 and 9-year-old.
Did they remake them?
Yeah. And
Stop
I also got one. I bought one last year at Maxwell Street Days
Stop.
at Urban Outfitters.
Oh my.
I bought one for the kids the big kids this winter, Christmas, duh.
Yeah.
And my sister's like, you know they're not going to play with them. I hope you
What?
didn't pay that much money for them. I'm like, they're so cool. She's like,
so let me
okay,
ask
but
you, like, what
they
did
may have iPads. Like, Meg, this little Tamagotchi is not.
Sure. And it's so like old school.
And so Layla and I were trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But she was invested. She was like, okay, it's beeping. I was like, feed it. Does it need to go outside?
Or does
Play
it have
with
to poop?
Yeah.
You got to clean up the poop.
Yeah. So, but I loved my Tamagotchi.
Oh my
So I
God.
did get one. It's still in the
I
package.
love it.
In my
You'll have to
office.
tell me how it goes because I thought about that too. My mom was always big on like knockoffs of things, like never pay full price for anything type of thing. She was always
well,
like,
that's maybe why you had so much shit and you were so spoiled. Is because
Because-
they were all knockoffs.
well, some stuff especially as I got older. But so I had this like dog watch one, and I was like, Mom, this isn't the real thing. Like I
I
can't.
cannot bring this to school.
Exactly. And it was like bright orange, and I was like, okay, I mean, it's cool. She goes, yeah, but it does the job. Like, and I was like, but it's not a Tamagotchi. And so like I didn't have the egg, and this was like a watch. I'm like, I don't need it. She goes, yeah, but then it's at your hands, at your fingertips.
She's trying to really sell it to you.
Oh,
I would have
bless
been
her
like,
soul.
you guys, I got the newest version.
Yeah.
It's now a watch.
And so then eventually
opportunity.
I did get to talk her into getting me a Tamagotchi and for my birthday or something. And my brother and stepsister decided to steal it from me and play catch and like keep away. And then they're like playing soccer with it. I'm like, you're gonna kill my Tamagotchi. You're gonna kill it. Mind you guys, I am the youngest in the family, and so I got picked on a lot.
Well, and I'll tell you that the quote unquote graphics are the exact same. There's still that like pixelated like black and
the-
green.
As they were back in the day. That's awesome. Like snakes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And then, really, and this isn't really a toy, but it's definitely probably the biggest part of like our 90s
Okay.
would be like a Discman. Well, because remember I had
yeah.
like the tape. I had like the tape one,
Well, who didn't?
like the Walkman, and mine was
Walkman,
hot
yeah.
pink.
Oh yeah.
And then the Discman, and like you had to get like the anti-skip, which was a fucking button that it never worked. It didn't actually work.
Yeah,
Like
well,
to stop skipping because when
Yeah.
I was
Why
trying
don't
to
you just make it
clip
that way without skipping
Yeah.
in the first place?
Good fucking point.
Why do I want to have
I
a
will
button?
never need it to skip. I don't need to turn off the skip. Like
Yeah.
that's a good fucking point. But then I'd be like cruising on my bike and I'd have it clipped to me. And it
my God.
just
Yeah.
it was just like so crazy. Yeah, so the Discman.
I used to mow the lawn with the Discman, and I was like, and then they upgraded them because I had a couple, and I had a really nice one later on. Like I think once I was like in high school though, that was when they made it so it didn't skip, and it was like louder too because I couldn't hear it over the my old one. I couldn't hear
sure.
over the mower, and that one like didn't have a clip. It was supposed to just like sit. And like you just listen to your jams, like
You can't. You don't move.
Yeah.
You cannot move if you want to listen to these sweet jams. You
Yeah.
need to stay still.
Don't scratch
That's
the
also
CD.
how it's anti-skip is because it doesn't move.
yes. Also, remember back in the day when you would like calling a radio station?
Oh, duh.
Or I don't know about you guys, and I think everyone's done this in their life, but because I've always had like boom boxes.
Yeah, and then you put them next to each other, or you record from the radio station.
Yes,
Oh,
record
yeah.
from the radio station. But I've also recorded myself trying to sing once, and I was like, that is when I realized I can't sing, and I never tried again. Once in a while,
She did it in her room, and she was like, "Oh wow, I cannot show this to anybody." Of all the 23 years I've known her, I've never heard this story. I've never heard it.
I was like, okay, so I'm not as good as I can hear through my ears. I always joke with people. I'm really good at singing in the car And in the shower. By
yeah.
myself. But
Well, people, clearly I have a deep, raspy voice. And people will be
always
like,
think
"Oh,
you
can
can
you
sing."
can you sing? And I'm like, not well, but that doesn't stop me. And I will do karaoke. You watch out.
Oh my God, yeah. How was you guys were so good at karaoke last night. Our eyes got so big. Like we did karaoke. Okay, we're bringing in the new year pretty hot and heavy.
I was like, let's hope nobody's got video. And there was always, and you know who you are if you're listening, you always got video, and I will kill you.
You better be never betray.
But I think the hard part about like the Discman is like the clothes that like you could never like have a pair of like you never had a jacket pocket big enough, and unless you wore Jinko jeans going onto clothes,
Yeah.
like unless you had which I did not.
Mm-hmm.
You could never fit that Walkman anywhere. So
No, it sucks.
and I
Walkman
didn't-
or Discman.
but I mean, like for
eventually, yeah.
clothes wise, like
Right,
I did never
absolutely.
like wore Janko, so I really had to keep my clipped Discman on.
And the
But-
Jinkos didn't even come out until way
Sure.
later, you know?
But I will tell you that I definitely had tight rolled pants.
Oh my God. We used to go wait on the bus, or like we go wait for the bus and get on, and like further around the block, like on the backside, were some older girls, sister.
Oh, yeah.
And she would always tight roll my brother in my pants for us once we got onto the bus. And
I was like, Zach Morris is doing it. I'm going to do it.
the acid wash jeans, AC Slater. It's such
His
a
like
staple.
parachute jeans.
Yeah, but
Ugh.
the pleated, that was so like in.
with
And-
his belt. Tucked in.
But do you notice so many people are like tucking in their shirts again now? I'm like, oh, I'm always out of style, I feel like.
Well,
but
90s moms jeans were
Ugh,
90s, and they're
yeah.
definitely coming back. I will never support them. Just FYI,
no.
if you
It
are
looks so ridiculous. Oh, and then those stupid shoes, like way off, like because we're talking
Yeah,
about like
clothes and-
today.
yeah.
But like those stupid shoes that look dirty, and they're like 500 to 800. I forget. They're gold something shoes, and they literally are white shoes that look like they've been trampled through the mud. Whoever made them is genius, because
wait, people are paying for that.
$500.
You can
Look
see
up-
how we're way off on the times.
I'll have to show you, but I'm just like, didn't you see my video, that my Snapchat, that I was like, why are these kids looking so trashy? I'm like, they look
Okay,
like
Grandma.
I know. I seriously.
But no, I would never pay that for a. Well,
I wouldn't pay
probably-
more than $60
for a dirty shoe.
for any shoe.
Oh, okay.
For
I
any,
was like,
a
we need to
clean,
clarify.
brand new shoe.
Yeah. Well, and I
A
was-
dirty shoe better be 25 cents at the garage sale,
Yeah.
and those are going to be my mowing
was gonna
shoes
say
or
your
something,
mowing shoes.
or my campfire shoes.
Yeah.
I just threw away 3 pairs of campfire
I know,
shoes
and
because I'm like,
threw
I don't
some
need them.
away. This is where Meg throws too much shit away, and
You
I
were
did throw.
bummed.
I was bummed. I was like, God damn it, those would have made good campfire
Yep,
shoes.
yep.
And now I ruined a different pair.
Yeah.
But I did do. I don't know if you ever had like, well, platform shoes were very 90s.
Oh yeah, my mom always.
Oh,
took
yeah.
mine. My mom always took mine after.
Yeah, exactly. And like those Sketcher ones, like
Yeah.
back in the day, or like
They're still good.
yeah, I love it. But like, the platform sneakers were like my jam, because then
Well,
you
they were
always had
everybody's.
because you had like the wide leg jean a little bit, and then
Yeah.
you had like the chunky
Oh yeah.
tennis shoe. Come on,
But is this more? Are you thinking more? Is this more the 90s too?
yeah.
What about like back in the like the 80s? All the off the shoulder, the big off the shoulder, and like remember that little thing to
Okay,
like.
that's on my list.
Okay,
It's like
sorry.
The bag. No, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you and I have it both. Is your oversized shirt,
Yep.
and then you'd have that little plastic thing.
It
It was
looked
circular with
A line through
A
it,
line
or,
through
or,
it,
yeah,
yeah.
post, and then
what would you
you'd put your
feed
thing-
it through?
yeah, and so you would have like this like bunched up piece, or people would knot it. Then
Big bangs.
but then hot colors too, which also kind of was like late 80s, early 90s,
Mm-hmm.
like your hot pinks, your hot greens, your hot oranges. My mom was so like, bless her soul, but her style was very 90s, like, and she wrote it out, man. She was like, I was like, Mom, you're kind of out of style. She goes, there's no brand name on it. She's like, I just like color. And I'm like, okay, great. Like, she would wear hot pinks,
Heck
hot,
yeah.
hot orange. And I went through her clothes, and I'm like, oh yeah, like there's a freaking bag in my room because I can't get rid of them. I'm like, but I want to make a blanket, but a whole nother story.
Yeah.
But
Well, and so like with that, you're right. Is like the off the shoulder. Obviously there's 80s styles for people who were born in the 70s or
No.
were like born early 80s and then
Right.
like
Yeah.
grew up in the 80s. Like you're talking like the Madonna kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well,
and that
mine wasn't
wasn't
at
what
those
I definitely never like rocked that look.
No, at that time I was very young, so I wore like kids' clothes with maybe Care Bears on them.
I was like rocking my jellies.
You know what I did wear?
What?
Windbreakers.
I was gonna say.
I forgot about that. It just popped in my head. I had
got
a
it on my
Pocahontas
list.
one and a Lion King one.
Oh man, we went to the Dells. Remember, if you've listened to Welcome to Wisconsin and you're not from Wisconsin,
The Wisconsin Dells.
the Wisconsin Dells is like a tourist attraction, and it's like a t-shirt shop on steroids. The whole street is, and like I feel like my whole family got like an outfit, a windbreaker jacket and pants, and
Yeah.
mine was like hot purple.
Oh yeah, but that's what they all were, right? Like hot, bright colors.
You see us walking down the street, man, the wind didn't stand a chance. Yes, windbreakers. Yes,
We're
the jellies.
huge. Yes. Oh my god.
I said really baggy shirt with the roll thing. Yeah, we tuck it in.
Yeah.
I was always a big fan of the one strap on my overalls.
Oh yeah,
You
that
know?
was because meant you're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Duh.
100%. And if you wore both straps, you were kind of like a baby.
Yeah, and if you had to get like, bye mom, see you later, and
Yep,
then you
and
get
then
on
you
the
take it
bus,
off.
and then you, I know.
100%. And like your backpack, you only had on.
Oh
one.
yeah,
Only
if you wore it
one.
on two.
You were a nerd.
Yeah, exactly. Nerd. Yeah, it's true. And you know what? Growing up, like all the cute boys always had bowl cuts. Do you
Oh my god. Well, let's go into the teen heartthrobs because then they were in all the magazines.
Yeah, everybody
and
had a boy. Oh yeah, what was his
JT.
name? JTT, Justin Taylor Thomas,
Yeah.
the tool kid.
Yeah. Jonathan Thomas Taylor.
And I don't think that's right either.
Jonathan
Taylor Thomas.
Yeah.
Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
I think you said Thomas Taylor.
JTT.
Okay. Keep it simple. Oh yeah, he had the
was-
bowl cut, and he had like the middle part with like the long hair.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
the boys
God.
are doing that nowadays. I've been
Oh,
cutting the
okay.
young boys' hair like that again. It's so funny. I'm like, wait, you put a part in your hair? And they're like, yeah. I was like, are all the boys doing that? They're like, yeah. I'm like, oh, that's funny because I go, that was my generation.
Yeah,
But like, I
All the
totally
cute
remember.
Boys had all those haircuts.
I
Oh,
totally
boy.
remember my mom always saying that, like when we were going through school, she'd be like, "This is my style." When I was younger, like the flare pants.
Oh yeah.
And I would only wear flares then. And I was like, my one friend, Lisa, was like, her mom bought her first pair of flares when we were in like elementary school, and I would like always borrow them because I'm like, my mom's not gonna get me a pair of flare pants yet. Like, they're not on sale or whatever the case is. But yeah, it was a whole thing. But then later it was the bigger the flare, the
Oh yeah, you could
cooler-
put a small village underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were the cooler. And then they were so long and big, and then the backs would get ripped up, and then when it would rain, half your
yeah.
fucking leg
Like-
would be soaking
Yeah.
wet.
I was always super careful, like to pull mine up when I'd walk because I did not like the way it looked when people had like
Yeah.
the whole heel cut out or from like stepping on it. I'm like, I'm just not gonna step on my face. I always hated it when that happens.
Another big one, and this was like early 90s. And everybody who's listening, if you didn't have one, I'm really sorry. Starter jackets.
Oh yeah, totally got one.
I had a Green Bay Packer one. And looking back on it,
I had a
like,
Wisconsin
green,
one.
gold, and white.
And green and gold doesn't look good on anybody, really.
I don't really own any Green Bay Packer stuff because their women's stuff is, but I had
yeah.
to have it, and it was like
But you were
$100
a
and
diehard.
some yeah, $100 and some dollars. And my
yeah.
dad was like, I swear to God, if you ruin this, if
Oh,
you
yeah.
lose it.
Same. Yeah. We were like supposed to only like wear it on days that like you didn't have to play in the snow. You couldn't play in the snow or something like because my mom's same thing. She bought my brother and I one. Ours was Wisconsin.
Okay.
And she asked me recently, well, not recently.
I
like,
remember.
she goes, did you want your starter jacket? And I was like, no. I go, what am I going to do with it? She goes, well, I don't know. Maybe the kids want it. Not my kids, my niece and nephew. I'm like, they're not going to want that. She's like, well, it's still a good jacket. My mom and my dad are very known for like, if you take care of it, it's going to last. And they've had things that, I mean,
I swear to God, if the starter jackets come back, I'm going to be pissed.
I think they're still actually at the house in the in the closet. Like,
Okay, well, then I'll wear
the
Joey's.
jackets.
If they come back, I was like, we've been rocking this forever. I remember like the Charlotte Hornets one.
Yeah,
was
everyone
like
had that
yeah,
because it was just pretty. It was
yeah.
the coloring. That
Not
was
mine. Green, gold, and white.
What a loser.
I have
I'm
a
just
picture of me
joking.
wearing tight rolled, like, melon colored pants and that coat. And I thought it was so cool.
Hey, anything went back then. That's hilarious.
Oh, God.
It's such a good one, though.
The starter, yeah.
jackets. Well, and like, one last thing about it. Did you have the pullover or the full zip?
Oh,
Pullover.
yeah.
You had to have the pullover. And
Yep.
it had to be starter versus that off-brand one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, mine was legit.
Mine was too, actually, because I was like, Mom, I can't have this one. Like, I think because my mom was always like about saving money, even though like for no reason. Like,
Yeah.
she just, when she found a deal, she was like, look what I found.
So
I
you
bought
didn't
this.
have a knockoff one?
No, I had the real deal. For
Real
sure.
deal.
I had the real deal.
What was the name of that other one?
It was like a weird triangle-ish.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name. It was like a P, maybe?
Oh, gosh.
Pacer. I don't know.
If you're listening and you know what we're talking about, put it in our comments on either Facebook or Instagram as another shameless plug. Those where you can find us. Because I do wish I knew what the other. It's
don't
on the tip
remember.
of my tongue, but yeah. So okay, we made it through some clothes, some toys. What else?
Yeah.
Like even like food back in the day.
Okay, tell me about that. I didn't
So
go into that.
Okay, so I was at Walmart or Walgreens. Nope, wrong W's. Woodman's.
Okay.
And this was like this was probably like a year ago, and I was like going through the drink aisles, and I had to like come to a full stop because I was like,
Are you
no
kidding?
shit. They brought Clearly Canadian back, and you can buy it. Tell me you know what I'm talking about.
I know Canadian Dry.
No, Clearly Canadian was like in a blue glass bottle, and it was like
Ha ha.
yeah, you're
uh-huh.
on the same.
I
And
know
like
what you're talking
the
But it was like a sparkling
wild
water.
cherry.
Yeah.
But it wasn't because you know I'm not like a huge
Sure,
sparkling
sure.
water like Claire Brune.
I do know what you're talking about. It was like a silver top, maybe.
No, blue top.
Oh, okay. Well, I think I know what you're talking about, though.
And like it was
Different
so
flavors.
Yep, like there was like a blackberry. There was like a
yeah.
something cherry, black cherry.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the best one. Now they wanted like $2 for one
Sure.
small glass
Duh.
of it, and I was like, I got to do it. I was like, oh, maybe it was at Hy-Vee. I don't know. Whatever.
Sure,
I was
wherever.
with my family. I think it was Hy-Vee. Whatever. And because we had eaten.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I have Clearly Canadian getting it. My dad's like, my stepdad was like, it's $2 a bottle. And I was like, I'm
It's
paying
okay.
for it. And
I don't
I
have
was like,
kids. I can afford it.
My mom and I were like, opened it, cracked it open. We're like, takes you right back.
That's so funny.
Oh, you never had that? Or you
I'm
never
sure I
drank
did.
it?
We always, my dad was always big on sparkling water, like Claire Brune lemon, because
I'm so sad for your childhood.
don't say that. I think he's a listener.
Well, that's fine. I'm just telling him that was not fun.
He was, I know, I didn't like it either, but he would always be like, I'd be like, can I have, well, first of all, we had like a card shop behind our house, and I spent like $40 on candy, and he goes, where'd your money go? And I'm like, the card shop. He goes, you spent $40 on candy? I'm like, over time, and like soda and stuff, like, it was like, can I have a soda? And it's like, here, drink this. This is a soda. And it
the
was
lemon
like,
ones are the worst.
I hated lemon. Well, I don't like lemon flavor anything. But I was like, here's your soda. I was like, I don't like it. I don't think it's soda.
It's not
But-
soda.
Yeah. But I mean, I get it. I mean, honestly, I'm not a sweet tooth, really. Like,
Joe Senior, not a soda.
well, at least I didn't have a cavity till I was 30.
There you go. And I think I've seen that this is being remade, but I don't know if you remember this. Well, okay, Fruitopia. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
juice?
I drank that all the time in high school.
Yes, and the Sobeys. Do you remember the Sobeys, like in the glass? They're like a glass kind of juice.
Okay.
And I think they probably still make them, but they don't. They had this amazing flavor
I don't
that
know.
I used to love after.
I feel like I know the name, but I'd have to see it because I'm thinking like now like Snapples. And
Well, yeah, it's like it's. I mean, it was in a glass bottle like
Mm-hmm.
that, but. Gosh, those were so good. But yeah, the Fruitopia, which I do think I have heard have
that was
come
definitely
back.
high school days for me.
Uh-huh.
Oh, are we on?
No, we're still on food. You don't remember all this?
Yeah. But go for it. I'm just thinking.
Oh, you missed that on the
So we'll just have to go back. It's okay.
Angela missed some stuff on her itinerary.
It was on the wrong page.
Well,
well
what
me.
else? For candies, my favorites. And so now I collect these, and I've gotten some from like different states, and like there's literally a pile
like,
of them
what is it?
in my living room. Candy cigarettes.
Oh, yes.
I can't believe I could go in with 50 cents and buy a pack of them.
Oh my God, yes, back in the day. And like, remember the Fun Dip and like
Oh, yeah, I loved
the big chew gum?
Yeah, or do you remember the Hubba Bubba bubble jug? It was a pink
Yes.
jug, and like I
never really got that because I wasn't a big gum chewer, or I
Oh.
got like the Bubblicious.
Mm-hmm.
Or do you remember the zebra one?
Yeah.
And like you could eat, no, was it that one? You could eat the paper?
No, that was Trident.
No, it was
The
also
zebra
the
one.
zebra one.
No, the zebra one. You got tattoos on
Oh,
the
okay.
wrapper.
And that was where it lost its flavor in like
yeah,
2
2
seconds.
It's like the Ouch bubble gum. Do you remember that? It looked
Yes,
like a
a Band-Aid. Oh my God.
I also like going back to drinks. The Ecto Cooler. Did you ever get those? Like it was like the orange flavored high C in you never
I
got
don't
those.
know.
Those
No.
weren't in your lunchbox. How about the Squeeze-Its?
No, I wasn't allowed to have that much sugar.
Oh gosh. Okay. So the Squeeze-Its were like juice, and
Yeah.
like Kool-Aid makes them now.
We
but
were
they
already
like
ADD. My dad did not want us to be more ADD from like more sugar. It's like, I think you guys have plenty of energy without sugar. But
True.
you know, or if we had sugar, it was like, eat your fruit and there you go. But
Well,
no,
okay.
I don't know
so
what we drank. I think we had to get like milk or water from.
well, like yeah,
I'm a
no,
huge water
like I
drinker,
wouldn't
but-
say like at my grandma's house we could have like Squeeze-Its or like the little jugs.
I was always at my grandma's. It was always grape soda.
Yeah.
That was my go-to, and then eventually, like I can't drink grape soda anymore, but like
Love it.
orange soda all the way, like
Yeah, my
orange high C or I don't.
Well, that's
remember.
essentially what the Ecto Cooler
Yeah.
was. It was just
But I
what's
just knew
his
that from
nuts from.
McDonald's.
Oh my gosh, I can see his. Why can't I even think of his name? Oh my gosh, Megan, this is ridiculous. Ghostbusters.
Oh,
Oh my gosh,
not Dan Aykroyd.
No!
Barry,
the green guy.
Oh, Slimer.
Yes,
Slimer
so
juice.
It was the Ecto Cooler, was what it was called.
Oh.
Why did you go Dan Aykroyd? No,
Is he even in that
I was
movie?
like, I can see his blobby little ass. What's his name?
You should have just said the green guy.
You know the guy, Dan Aykroyd. No, it's not Dan Aykroyd. He was not the Ecto Cooler guy.
I have no idea what you're even talking about.
No, it's not Dan. I promise.
Oh my God.
Though we do love you, Dan Aykroyd, if you're a listener. Highly doubt it, but maybe one day. Okay, so yeah. Oh, so Angela was mad because she forgot a couple of things in our fashion and trends.
No, not fashion and trends. This was down to like electronics, I guess.
Well,
like,
that's a trend.
okay, but
Because
like
did you have a pager?
no, but my dad did, and I always had to page him. He had one for work, and so I always had to page him to like have him call back and whatever. And then
My stepdad had the
phone.
bag phone like in his car or in his Bronco. Or did he have a Suburban? Whichever. It was the Bronco. And he would he'd had this, it was like a freaking duffel bag with a phone in it.
I mean, people that know
Yeah.
what it is.
And then
yeah.
he definitely had the Zach Morris brick phone.
Oh, my dad had that one too after the pager,
Yeah.
and that was like it. He had like a whole buckle, and like
Oh yeah.
heck yeah. But then like back to video cameras.
Mm-hmm.
My parents, when they were together, they had a Beta video recorder, and the first one was like you could put the whole Beta tape in, which was like this big, and then
If you can't see, it was like a VHS.
it's a smaller version of a VHS. And
Because
then
I know you guys can't see. I said if you can't see. I can.
And then they got a new one that was the 8 millimeters, and they put everything. I mean, everything. I threw away boxes and boxes of stuff that they recorded threw off TV that was on those Beta tapes. Remember? I was
yeah.
We
never had Beta, but we had VHS
But remember
tapes.
when I had them here? And
Oh,
you're
yeah.
like, why are we moving these? Just throw them away. And I was like, I can't get rid of them. And you're like, but you're not going to watch them. I still have the Beta player at least under my bed. But I don't know. Like, I don't know. I need to get rid of it. And I told my dad, I think I'm going to get rid of it because I put family videos already
Yeah.
on a jump drive, and he goes, "Ooh, you're gonna get rid of it?" I go, "You gave it to me.
I'm gonna give it fucking
it."
back to you. If you're not careful, it's gonna end up on your doorstep.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, definitely the VHS tapes. And then like you're like, oh my gosh, going, like in a slightly different direction.
Yeah.
But like, oh my gosh, like TGI Fridays, like on ABC with Boy Meets World and all that. Okay, well, then my parents had like VHS tapes of shit that they wanted. And then I would dub over it with the VHS. With, Dad, I needed to know what Corey and Topanga were doing.
Exactly.
Like, get out of the VHS player. You don't get to touch shit.
That's too funny.
My parents, at one point, we did, definitely, we had taped the season finale, or the series finale of Home Improvement on a VHS.
I remember the finale. Like, we totally watched Home Improvement like no other.
Yeah,
for sure.
I loved that. I was a big Roseanne fan.
Well, yeah, who wasn't? We also were that.
Yes,
Simpsons.
love that. Simpsons.
Life Goes On was for much earlier, and then let me even see where I'm at
then
here.
we got like the Boy Meets, like I said, the more kind of kids stuff.
Yeah.
But, so like, okay, hold on, folks.
I was big into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, even though Lassie was older. Like the whole Andy Griffith show, we watched that a lot.
Oh, and freaking, I did not like it, but I did watch it because other family members did. Little House on the Prairie, and like none of those like.
My brother and I love that show. My brother loved it more. But I think because
kill you.
But I think because my brother is so country that like I think he loved the idea that it was like kind of farmish.
Mom, Pa, and they were living off the land.
I like that show though too.
I was never okay. Do you remember that show, My Two Dads?
No.
They weren't. This was not like a
Never
a
seen
gay
it.
pioneer show.
No.
I was in the 80s.
Yeah, never seen it.
I was a 21 Jump Street girl. Like I remember my mom and my grandma and I would watch it. I think it was on Sunday nights,
be
and it
honest,
was
I
like
never saw
way too late, like for like a kindergartner. But
Yeah.
I loved that. Same with 90210.
Oh, yeah.
Started watching 90210 when I was in kindergarten.
Oh yeah, you did. But I watched it, but not till I was a little bit older. Same with like the Party of Five.
Yes,
Didn't
and
they come in?
Melrose Place, all that shit.
Yeah.
Do you remember this show, Mama's Family?
Yes, my brother and I watched that show with my dad a lot.
Yes.
She was like super mean.
Yes.
Yes.
Who's the boss?
Yeah.
I'm Elf. Did you ever watch Elf?
Oh, all the time.
Yes,
Yes,
loved
yes,
it.
Yes.
Loved
How
it.
about okay, let me look at my stuff here. How about Star Search? I watched that a lot.
Loved it.
Family Matters, Step by Step, Saved by the Bell, Blossom.
Oh, I forgot about Blossom. Blossom was
With
not on my.
Joey
Whoa.
Lauren. Yeah. Well, then he goes into the whole teen heartthrobs back in the day
yes.
too, and
We got the Golden Girls. I watched that with my grandma. Full House.
I need to get you something real quick.
Okay.
Well, you said the Golden Girls. I'll let you talk. Keep talking.
Okay.
Here's my list.
Okay. We got. Okay. I don't know if I can read off both of our outlines here, but we got Full House.
Oh yeah.
Wonder Years. I was a big one on that. Perfect Strangers. I don't know if anybody remembers my cousin Belky. That was.
Oh yes. Perfect. But I thought Belky was from.
Yeah, he's from.
Life Goes On.
No, Perfect Strangers. Remember, it was his cousin.
Oh yeah, that's the other one. Okay. Yes. I remember that one too.
Yeah. So.
So back to Golden Girls.
Yeah.
Thank you for being a friend.
Oh my God,
Travel
you guys.
down the world and back again.
Your heart is true. You're a friend and a confidant. Oh my gosh, I wish you guys could talk. So we'll now
take
have
pictures.
we'll take pictures. We now have new drinking glasses. We will not be
Squad
drinking the
goals.
claw out of the cans anymore. We have Squad Gold.
And it's picture
plastic cups of all of the ladies.
from the Golden Girls.
That is freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. She said she's had something for me, but she didn't know where it was ever going to fit in. And look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this. All right. So like those were good 90s show or 80s shows.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Oh, wait. Are we going to do movies at all or just afterwards?
No, go for it.
Okay.
Would you
so
for like 80s?
80s, I just want to talk about, because I have a really funny story. Some of the movies, obviously, like you get your Goonies, your
Yep.
Back to the Future.
Yep.
Did you ever know the movie Baby the Last Dinosaur? That was
Yes,
like my
and
brother.
Did you have
and-
that on beta?
Probably.
Yeah,
Like
I
my
feel
brother and I were like looking like, what is that movie? And finally we figured it out. And that was our all-time favorite movie. Oh my God. Side
All
story.
the Disney movies.
Well, and this wasn't even a
No,
Disney.
I know what I'm saying, but like all of, I'm just saying like, FYI, all the Disney movies, loved them.
Absolutely. But Baby the Last Dinosaur. So my brother and I loved dinosaurs growing up. And when my mom met my stepdad, she told him, because he he's trying to win us over. So he's like, what can I bring? And like, can we watch a movie? Like, so he buys like a dinosaur movie, because anything dinosaurs was all us, right?
He was a hit.
And he bought this
He knew it was
terrible dinosaur. It was not Baby the Last Dinosaur. It was this terrible dinosaur movie. And we're all watching, and he's young, like he's probably in his 30s when he met my mom. And
he was cringing, like, this is
terrible. And like I can imagine. So my stepdad, also backstory, he doesn't have kids, so like he's a businessman, like he knows nothing, like, so he's like, oh my God, the whole time. And I finally turned to my mom. I was like, Mom, I don't like this movie, can we turn it off? And like, mind you, I was like 6 or 7, so like you say pretty brutally honest things back then.
This sucks. I don't want to watch it anymore.
Yeah. He goes, oh, thank God. He goes, I was hoping somebody would say something.
That's great, because you know that feeling.
Yes.
But speaking of dinosaurs, you remember the dinosaur TV show?
Yes.
Knock them out.
Yes. Yeah.
My dad and I
Loved it.
loved that. Chris and I loved that.
We were also big into Thundercats, Transformers, Sailor Moon. That was like on the beta.
Sure.
Time. Beetlejuice, Bill and Ted's.
Oh gosh, I
Scissorhands.
always liked the Bogus Adventure versus with Death versus.
Is that the one for Bill and Ted's? You're saying?
Yeah. Versus the Excellent. I
Sure.
didn't see the remake.
I don't remember, but Big.
Oh yeah, liked
Big.
that. And again, like I saw these as I was like a smidge older than when
Sure.
they came out.
And I just I'm not sure where that kind of fits, because I mean I know
Yeah,
that
me
my mom
neither.
always. But real quick, E.T. I have a story about that.
Oh, I do love E.T.
That movie scared the bejeebers out of me, and so if you remember that, if you remember that movie, at the beginning when like the marshals and the police are looking for him, and he's running,
He's so scared,
and he's running through the woods going, you know. So
that was the best E.T. impression I've heard in a long time.
Well, I'll tell you where I get it from. I used to think that E.T. was going to come out of the toilet, and so when I was younger, like I used to not flush, and I would like, because I was afraid that he was going to come out of the toilet and chase me, like in
Angela.
So let me tell you. So then we were in the old house, and my dad lived in that at the time, and so I was like super young, like I think not quite, I was already potty trained, but like just I was so afraid, and my dad's like, Angela, you have to flush the toilet. And I was like, okay, it's either wash my hands or flush the toilet.
Which one do you want?
Yeah.
And she's obsessed with washing her hands.
Yeah.
If she goes to the bathroom, like just pees prior to getting in the shower.
I have to wash my
She has to wash her hands prior to getting into the shower. So this was a real struggle for her, I'm sure, when she was young.
So anyways, I flushed the toilet, booked it out of the bathroom because I thought ET was coming for me, and I ran into the corner of the wall. I have a scar underneath my chin from that, like smoked the.
She just thought E.T. was going to come after her.
I did.
Angela, you're just not that important.
Oh my God.
The alien is not coming for you, I promise.
You never know. They might be like, what's wrong with that girl?
E.T. was Angela also was Elliot for Halloween once. We should find those pictures and post that just for
hilarious.
this episode. My stepdad found her an old bicycle and took the handlebars off and like a milk crate.
Yeah, I don't know where I got that unless that was from you guys too.
Yeah. And we zip tied it on, and then she put an ET in it.
Oh my God, yeah. It's in the basement.
It's pretty good.
It was.
Okay, so as I got older, like we were saying, like the Saved by the Bell was on Saturdays, but Friday nights was TGIF, so Boy Meets World. Maybe a Step by Step, though I wasn't ever a fan of that.
I love that show because they were like a blended family, and it was like a ton of kids.
And then there was, what the hell else was there?
Saturday morning cartoons.
No, but I mean like Friday,
Family Matters.
TGIF.
And
yeah.
they kind of traded out shows.
But Friday nights was like for like the kids that were just like a little bit older,
Yeah.
and then like
Teen,
on Nickelodeon. Oh, I was not a teen. Nickelodeon.
Preteen.
Yeah, they had like Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh my God, yeah.
All that.
Love.
Pete and Pete.
Oh yeah.
There were some other ones in there too.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
Those were
but
some good
I
ones.
love the Are You Afraid of the Dark? Remember Tales from the Crypt?
That guy was terrifying.
Oh my God, I got a story for
Oh,
a
God.
book.
For a
God.
book?
Well, remember?
Are you gonna write a book?
No. So it's kind of goes into the Tales from the Crypt.
Goosebumps.
So
Speaking of
yes, I loved
We had
all
all
the
those.
scary. I'm like kind of creepily like obsessed with like life after death and all this stuff. So anyways, my brother and I would rent these books from the library that were like, I forget what they're called, the dead things, but they remind me of the Tales from the Crypt.
Hold on, sorry, I was drinking. Were they white with black faces
yeah.
on it? Yeah.
Yeah. And so then I found a book that was a bunch of scary stories for like second graders, right? And
Who's the author who does that?
I don't know, but I think you know this story. So I think this is a popular story because other people are like, yes. So
But I want to know the author who does that.
I'll look it up. But
Okay.
so basically the storyline though, it was my favorite story, and I've rented this book like 3 or 4 times. And this girl meets this guy, and like she's super sick, and he's sticking around, and she always wore this green scarf around her neck. And then finally, like she got sick, and he was like, well, I want to know why you wear the green scarf. And she would never tell him. So finally, he took it off her when she was laying in bed sick, and her head fell off.
Of course.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, like who knew that was
What do you do? I write scary books for children in second grade. I was like, as I got older, it was like a chicken soup for the teenage soul.
You weren't cool unless you had that.
And I
like,
remember
half the time I didn't even read it. It was just you're cool if you carried it around.
No, and I remember like growing up, my cousin Colleen, who's been referenced in the show before, like I was like, she would be like, let's go play. And I'd be like, I can't, I got to read my chicken soup for the soul.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my
that
God,
was the
that's
day
so
we
funny.
stopped playing, and it was the saddest thing. But one of my, like, after, I was so like 8th grade,
Yeah.
I'd come home from school every day,
Yeah.
and we had a TV, like, because I don't know if you remember, like, we had the vaulted ceilings.
We
then
even
had,
talked
like,
about it in another episode. Yeah.
Oh,
above
okay.
above the counters.
Above the cabinets.
Yeah.
And
that's what I
would
meant,
come
yeah.
in and
Turn on.
turn on
RL.
TRL. Man, like 8th grade, 9th grade,
Oh my
I'd
God.
make my chips with melted cheese, my Tostitos melted cheese.
Those AKA nachos.
Yeah. Poor man's nachos. And TRL.
Oh my God, that's where you knew all your music from, though. Like with
Yeah.
the Cash Money Millionaires back in the day.
They would probably find you and shoot you if you reference the fact that I remember seeing you guys on TRL. No.
But Juvenile,
Yeah.
Lil Wayne. I had all their CDs. By that time, I was
But they were thugs. They
in 9th grade. I had like a good rap selection, like Big Pun and like.
Oh my gosh. Yes, and those are fun to listen to now,
Yeah.
like especially.
Oh my God.
And then there was like, we were talking about like heartthrobs, so like JTT, who else? Devin Sawa was another one, like back in the day. Tiger Beat, Teen Beat, and then TRL brought on.
I had like a whole wall full
Oh,
of the
yeah.
boys
Yes.
from like the magazines,
Yes.
like YM and Teen
Yes.
Mag. I had all those. I got them each month.
And then it became like boy bands.
Oh yeah, and that was obsessive. And then, but I was also like boy bands for 1 year, like 7th grade, and then it kind of like Limp Bizkit came
Then
over.
she, in 8th grade, did an entire school project on Limp Bizkit. And then I was like, do you remember when you did that?
No.
And she was like, wait, oh my God. I was like, how did you forget you did an entire project on Limp Bizkit
She's
in
like,
8th
you
grade?
even had those
One of
the
your posters. Britney Spears.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and I will still, like, I listen to a lot. We both listen to a lot of different music, but I will Britney bitch it sometimes. Like,
Oh,
don't
yeah.
get it twisted.
Well,
And
it's nostalgia.
you were an NSYNCer.
I was an NSYNCer.
I was a 98 Degreeser.
Yeah.
They were more muscular.
Mm-hmm. Nick Lachey really was for sure. Yeah.
But I mean, that was just kind of like where I feel like some of that nostalgia stuff kind of kind of ended for us. Like, we definitely were more influenced in things past, and then I don't know, we became too cool for school about that time, right? Like,
Yeah. Well, and I think also just because I forgot a couple things.
no,
What
no,
about-
no, no, nope. If you didn't follow your itinerary, no, I'm just joking.
Mine's all backwards on how we decided to go. But do you remember in like as we were older, like kind of in the early high school or middle 8th grade, that like everything was blow up and everything. Like
Oh, remember I had that blow up couch in my room?
Yes, and
it was
had
like
the
a
blow-up
love
chair.
seat. Yeah.
And then
Oh my God, I forgot
everything
about
was like
this.
fuzzy or like clouds.
Yeah.
I had to have a cloud blanket, which I still have. I can't get rid of because it's so nice. And then cloud sheets.
Yep.
You had to have everything was furry, fuzzy. Just today on my way home when I stopped at the store, they had like this fuzzy rug, and I was like, studio rug, and I was like, I touched it, and I was like, I don't need to spend any money on this right now.
Definitely. Oh, the first, going back a little bit to the going back to like technology.
Yeah.
The Nokia phone.
Oh, duh.
I remember I
my
had
God.
like the different face plates.
Yes.
And like that antenna. Like,
Yeah.
and I didn't get one until like, I don't know, like my freshman or sophomore year, but like there were definitely people who had one in 8th grade. And I was like, oh,
I know.
gosh.
I didn't get one till
And
like
knew
that person. I like immediately called my mom and was like, "So I know what I want for Christmas," because it was like either Christmas or my birthday. I got
Yes.
to have something, or I got to ask for what I wanted, and she's like, "Well, what is it?" I go, "A cell phone." She goes, "You want a cell phone? What are you gonna do with a cell phone?" I'm like, "Call people." And then she was like, "Well, you know, they thought about it. They're like, it is a good idea because obviously we can keep track of you." But then nobody ever checked them because we weren't used
there was
to it.
two of you who had cell phones.
Yeah.
And then my parents, when they bought it for me, they were like, okay, we'll pay for it. Because,
Yeah. First year.
whatever. And then they were like, but if we call, you better answer. And I was like, yep, sounds good. And I was like,
Never.
never mind.
I just never even, I think mine that was like when Verizon never had service.
Oh, yeah,
And-
call me after 9 because then we get free minutes. And don't text me because it costs 25 cents.
Yeah,
I think that's how I got
exactly.
mine taken away was the texting.
I didn't even know about texting until I was 16. I don't know if it was a thing until then.
I
but-
had one, like, I had
Or
my
17.
Nokia until, like, the end of time, and I'm pretty sure my mom still has it in her jewelry box. Maybe that's worth some money.
Well, remember that bag of phones I had?
Yes. I still have, like, phones from over the years.
Yeah. I actually think I recycled them at the phone store, but
Oh, you can do that? I should probably do that.
you can. What about AOL? Long nights on AOL Messenger and like just chit chatting with your friends.
Yes.
I lived
At
outside
Trina's, I would
Yeah.
always, we would definitely, like, oh, God.
all night long, and then like especially in the summer, like I would stay up till like 5 a.m. talking to all my friends because like I didn't live near anyone, so like
And your cell phone probably didn't have very good reception.
yeah at all. So it was pointless.
Yeah, but you had a bedroom. You had your own line.
Yeah.
That was a big deal.
I did get my own phone line in my bedroom, and remember the clear phones that were like purple, pink, and green?
Yeah.
And
wait, where you could see like the mechanics of them
yeah,
inside?
mine.
I
I had
always
a
wanted
purple.
one of those.
I had a purple one.
They
I
had
bought
one
it
at Farm and
myself.
Fleet, and I wanted it. And my parents were like, "You don't even have your own line." Like, no. I was like, "Oh."
Well, and then I ended up getting one with an answering machine, and my mom comes down. She goes, "Why do you have an answering machine?" And I was like, "In case somebody wants to leave me a message. Why else?" Like she's like, "Are you kidding?" But like my brother and I both used it. Like his friends would people used to hang out at the house and quote unquote party, but not really like party like that. It was like just hanging out.
Yeah.
Because my parents were there. Like there was no partying, but just anyway. So people would call and be like, "Oh, is anyone out there?" And yeah, so it was a whole thing. And
Why
I had
do you have a voice?
but then my mom took it over. The phone's still like there and like plugged in. I don't know if the phone line is. They're probably still paying for the darn phone line.
It's funny because I was looking through pictures today for us to post, and I found a picture of us when we lived at the house next door from where my parents live now.
Oh yeah.
And which just sounds weird. It's a whole story. And I was dyeing Easter eggs, and I was on the phone, and it had like the longest cord on it. And
Oh
it's, like,
yeah, my dad had
and
one.
it's like
You could go outside.
Yeah, but like and I was like, hi, like somebody took a picture of me on the phone dying Easter eggs because I was probably in 8th grade and needed to definitely talk on the phone.
Well, duh, of course, of course. I'm really surprised that you didn't mention this one TV show that, like, your all-time favorite that you started was watching in like high school.
Well, Roseanne is probably my all-time favorite, and then I remember there was Dawson Creek Nights.
Yeah,
that was a big one. Friends is like. And she just whipped out Friends cups.
I was like, I saw them. I was like, well, we need to have these. I just
Yes!
don't know how. I don't know how we're gonna go about this, but
I was kind of sad when I love this. So it's got all of them in their iconic drinking from their milkshakes. And I was like, I love it. I love both of them. And I was like, oh man, I was thinking in my head, I was like, man, we didn't get to talk about Friends on the TV
I know, and I was
part.
like, we're gonna have to. I put them in a bag and everything.
Yes. So my 3 favorite shows of all time are going to be, and not in any particular order, are going to be, sorry, my dad just, hold on, are going to be Roseanne, Friends, and Game of Thrones. And I'm going to actually throw another one in there, Schitt's Creek. Top 4 favorite all time.
Remember my top favorite movies in high school were Wayne's World. I mean, still really is.
Yeah, movies, yeah.
10 Things I Hate About You,
Love it.
Selena,
Yeah, you
and,
did like Selena.
and Goldmember.
We watched a lot of
Goldmember.
freaking. We watched a lot of
All 4 of those.
Austin Powers a lot in high school.
But it was only the Goldmember one because I didn't really like the other ones. The Goldmember one, it was like.
But then we would be like, Angela, we cannot watch Goldmember again. Let's throw in one of the other ones. All right, fine.
I was like, and then wait for you guys to pass out and fall asleep, and I'm like, put in Goldmember. Or Fasha, can you hear me? I literally call my dad Fasha because of that movie. I'm like, Fasha, or I'll be like, this is my Fasha, like when I do pictures.
Yeah.
Like, people are probably like, what is a Fasha? Your farger? What's a farger? Oh, your father. Dutch accent, isn't that weird?
We're probably going to get copyright sued for that one, but it was worth it.
No, because I said it. It's not copyright unless it was an actual clip.
Okay, so, all right.
It's my voice.
Sorry, I know it was
I
hard
make
to
the
think that
rules.
it wasn't who.
Toit like a tiger.
You're stupid.
That's the biggest, most beautiful hair you have, like, or whatever they said. But it's been a long time since I've seen that movie. But
We
the
probably
sharks,
will have to do that
sharks
one
with
soon.
laser beams. We should do like all 4. I did watch Selena last year, not too long.
I wasn't ever like the biggest fan of that. I mean,
I don't
watched
know.
it.
I think it was because the late at night, that song.
Yeah, that was big. That was a big one, like in the 90s.
And I think it was just that song. And then like I almost said Jennifer Love Hewitt. Jennifer Lopez. She just is really pretty, and she played Selena in that movie. And so like, I was just thought she was great.
You wanted to be Selena.
I did.
Salinas.
Selena. He said no problem that we took off her bumper.
Stupid. Oh my God. We got to shut this episode down before
Love you guys.
the sun goes down. Thanks for hanging out with us again. We hope that we have made you reminisce, laugh, and maybe pull out a Walkman, a CD, a VHS if you have one.
Or AOL.
Thanks, guys. Oh, what? The startup.
And then you get,
and
and then you get kicked off. I'm like, all right, guys. We'll see you. Bye.